The story we are going to witness now is from a long ago to Dwapara Yuga, but it has a vital connection with the Mahabharata. 8 Vasus, along with their wives, arrived at the ashram of sage Vashishta. In the ashram, sage Vashishta's cow grazed peacefully. One Vasu named Prabhas was captivated by the cow's beauty and learned that drinking its milk could grant eternal youth. Prabhas, desiring the cow, thought of kidnapping it, and the remaining 7 Vasus didn't bother to stop him, neither to drink the cow's milk. Sage Vashishta discovered the missing cow and the Vasu's wrongdoing, leading him to realize that the cow had been taken. Using his mystical powers, Sage Vashishta cursed all 8 Vasus to be born in the land of death, which is the earth. Vasus were terrified by knowing this curse and pleaded Vashishta for mercy. Once a curse is uttered, even the one who pronounced it cannot reverse it. So Sage Vashishta altered the curse. The 7 Vasus who were innocent would be freed from the curse upon their birth, while Prabhas, the one who committed the crime, would have to live his entire life in the land of death. For them, being born as humans on earth is like a curse because they were used to a different way of life. In their world, they didn't need to eat, breathe, or do other things humans struggle with to survive. Another time, countless gods, Gandharvas, Yakshas, and celestial beings gather at Brahma Loka, the abode of Lord Brahma, for the grand assembly. The divine atmosphere is filled with their majestic presence, creating a spectacle of unparalleled magnificence. In a moment of folly, Samudra catches a glimpse of Ganga adjusting her sari in a seemingly objectionable manner. This mistake, fueled by desire, leads to a grave consequence as Lord Brahma curses both Samudra and Ganga. Recognizing their lapse in judgment, Brahma decrees that they will be born as humans on earth, destined to live out their lives amidst the trials and tribulations of mortal existence. Upon learning of Ganga's curse, the 8 Vasus approached her with a request. Understanding the gravity of their situation, they beseeched Ganga to bear them as her sons, knowing that if they were born to ordinary humans, they would be condemned to endure the trials of mortal life. They pleaded with Ganga to end their lives immediately upon their birth, sparing them from the suffering that awaited them in the world of mortals. As we observe, every action, every birth, and every circumstance is shaped by our deeds and karma. On a serene and radiant day, Ganga transformed from her divine essence into a mortal form, rising gracefully from the waters in the guise of a breathtaking woman. It had been ages since she had experienced the tangible beauty of earth, and now, immersed in its wonders once more, she felt a deep longing stirring within her. With a heart filled with anticipation and purpose, Ganga traversed the verdant landscapes, marveling at the lush forests, vibrant flowers, and crystal-clear streams. Her senses drank in the sights, sounds, and fragrances of the earthly realm, each moment a testament to the enchantment of mortal existence. Yet, amidst the splendor of nature, Ganga remained mindful of her divine mission: to fulfill her destiny by finding a suitable man to father her sons. With determination burning bright within her, she embarked on her quest, guided by the silent whispers of fate and the boundless depths of her own ancient wisdom. She came upon Pratipa Maharaj immersed in meditation by the riverbank. Drawn to his serene presence, she approached and, without hesitation, seated herself on his right lap. When Pratipa opened his eyes, he beheld the vision of a radiant woman before him. Ganga, recognizing Pratipa's noble bearing, implored him to grant her wish. Yet, Pratipa, bound by his solemn vow to marry only one woman in this lifetime, respectfully declined her offer. He explained that his duty as a king was to honor his word above all else. Despite Ganga's insistence on the principles of king's duty, Pratipa remained steadfast in his resolve. He reminded her that according to tradition, the woman who sat on the right lap was akin to a daughter-in-law or the first female heir. Thus, he made a solemn promise to send his son to her when he came of age. With a heavy heart, Ganga bid farewell to Pratipa, acknowledging the strength of his convictions, and continued on her journey, trusting in the workings of fate to guide her towards her ultimate purpose. After Pratipa bestowed the kingship upon Shantanu, one fine day he revealed the truth about Ganga to his son. He explained his solemn promise to Ganga, pledging to send his son to marry her and fulfill her destiny of bearing children. Initially hesitant, Shantanu grappled with the weight of his father's promise. However, upon reflection, he realized the potential blessings that a goddess as queen could bring to the kingdom and its people. With a newfound resolve, he accepted his fate and set out to find Ganga at the river banks. After days of tireless searching, Shantanu finally laid eyes upon Ganga, his heart stirred by her incomparable beauty. Overwhelmed by her presence, he approached her and introduced himself as the son of Pratipa, Shantanu Maharaj. Unable to resist the pull of her enchanting allure, he boldly asked for her hand in marriage. However, Ganga, wise and discerning, set forth her conditions before accepting his proposal. She demanded that Shantanu vow never to oppose her will, hinder her actions, or question her decisions. Captivated by her beauty and eager to win her favor, Shantanu willingly acquiesced to her terms without hesitation. Thus, with their fates entwined by destiny, Shantanu and Ganga embarked on a journey together, bound by an unspoken promise of mutual respect and understanding. After their marriage, King Shantanu and his wife Ganga reveled in the bliss of their love for a year, cherishing each moment together in the warmth of their affection. 1 year later, their love bore fruit as Ganga gave birth to a baby boy, a living symbol of their enduring love and bond. Shantanu was filled with unparalleled joy and contentment, for he finally had an heir to the kingdom, bringing him immense happiness and fulfillment. From the birthing chamber, Ganga carried the newborn baby in her arms, her actions shrouded in mystery. Shantanu, unaware of her intentions and bound by his promise, trailed after her in bewilderment. To the banks of the river they journeyed, where Ganga, with a solemn gaze, cast their child into the flowing waters. Shantanu's heart recoiled in shock, his inner turmoil raging, yet his lips remained sealed by the vow he had made to Ganga. Within a year, once again, Ganga bore another son, and as before, she carried the newborn to the river's edge without hesitation. With a heavy heart and a solemn expression, she cast the infant into the flowing waters, while Shantanu, bound by his vow of silence, could only watch in silent despair. Despite the passage of another year, the tragic cycle repeated itself once more. Ganga, giving birth to yet another son, carried out the same sorrowful ritual, taking the newborn to the river and casting him into its depths. Shantanu, burdened by grief and his solemn promise, stood by silently, his heart heavy with the weight of his unspoken sorrow. As Ganga continued her devastating actions, Shantanu's patience wore thin with each passing year. The births of their fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh sons were marked by the same tragic fate, as Ganga carried out her grim task without remorse. Despite his silent suffering, Shantanu struggled to contain the growing turmoil within him. Finally, On the brink of despair, Shantanu could bear the weight of his grief and the burden of his promise no longer, with his heart heavy and his soul tormented. He could no longer remain silent in the face of such unspeakable tragedy. The moment of reckoning had come, and Shantanu found the courage to confront Ganga when she was about to do the same for their eighth son, breaking the vow of silence that had bound him for so long. Shantanu finally voiced his anguish and questioned Ganga's actions. She met his gaze with a solemn expression. With a heavy heart, she revealed the truth that she had been waiting for this moment, the moment when the weight of their shared destiny would come to light. In a voice laden with sorrow, Ganga unraveled the tale of her cursed existence and the intertwined fate of the 8 Vasus. She recounted the ancient events that had unfolded ages ago, the curses that had bound them all in an inescapable web of fate and consequence. With each word, the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, and Shantanu's understanding deepened. He realized the magnitude of their shared destiny and the weight of the curses that had shaped their lives. With the vow broken, Ganga knew that her time with Shantanu had come to an end. She made the declaration that she must depart from his side, bound by the dictates of fate. Yet, in her departure, she made one final promise: to spare the life of their 8th son. With a mother's love and determination, she vowed to raise the child herself and to one day return him to Shantanu's side. And so, with tears in her eyes and a heavy burden on her heart, Ganga bid farewell to Shantanu, leaving with their precious son cradled in her arms. As she disappeared into the distance, Shantanu watched with a mixture of sorrow and hope, knowing that their destinies were forever entwined, even as they walked separate paths. In the everyday world we know, birth may seem simple, but the tale behind Bhishma's birth spans in a whole different time. It's a story woven from the curses of Ganga and the Vasus, which took place in some other time, lead to some other events, and eventually the birth of Bhishma. And his birth will lead to something else, which we will witness in the next episode. Subscribe to our channel now to witness one of the greatest warriors the world has ever seen.